Okay, we are doing Secret World Flower Fairies, which I think I got when I was like 4 or 5. Okay, and it doesn't have the author. Do you believe in fairies? This book is all about the secret world of flower fairies. It is rare to see a flower fairy. Like most fairies, they are extremely shy of big people, and you will only see them if you believe in them. Can you see Foxglove hiding in his flowers? There's Burdock tiptoeing quietly. Blackthorn climbs her way up her spiky branches, and Elderberry looks down from above. Down here, Red Campion peeps out from the woodland's edge. Where are the fairies? Where can we find them? We've seen the fairy rings they leave behind them. Is it a secret no one is telling? Why, in your garden surely they're dwelling. No need for journeying, seeking afar. Where there are flowers, there fairies are. Whenever a seed sprouts, a flower baby boy or girl is born. The little baby sleeps hidden under the leaves, and as the plant grows taller, its fairy grows up too. There is probably a flower fairy not very far away from you at this very moment, looking after a tree or flower. Flower fairies sweep away dead leaves and polish up new ones. They keep their flower petals shaped, clean, and tidy, and every flower fairy helps with the important job of sowing seeds and watering the new seedlings. There's Black Medic looking after the seed heads. And look, snip, 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 she's pruning it. Go busy, Pink Fairy scissors. Herb Twopence talking to his seedling, and dainty Shirley Poppy helps to sow the seeds. What are flower fairies like? They worry about the weather and insects eating their plants' leaves, as well as humans picking their plants and dropping rubbish. But flower fairies also love music and dancing and having fun. They do all they can to help each other look after the countryside, and they are the nicest and kindest of all the fairies. Periwinkle's flowers are a beautiful blue. Daisy's flowers make the prettiest garlands. Primrose is one of the first flowers of spring. Harebell's blossoms are like dainty bells. Woodwort Plantain whistles a tune for his snail. Dogwood's leaves are bronze and crimson. Box Tree likes to live in gardens. Winter Aconite doesn't mind the cold, and Forget-Me-Not lies on a bed of leaves. Look at Forget-Me-Not. Forget-Me-Not's still just a little baby. All fairies are 2 to 4 inches tall. That's 6 to 10 fairy feet. All flower fairies are born with tiny wings and pointy ears. By the time they're fully grown, flower fairies have wings as strong and colorful as butterfly wings. Knocking over my water. Fuchsia's dress looks exactly like her bell-shaped flowers. I wanted to draw the fuchsia flower too as a fairy. Gaillardia wears shorts and boots made from his leaves. White Binweed's bonnet is made from her leaves. Cornflower wears a crown of blue flowers. Fumitory's skirts are the colors of her plant. Look at Marigold's necklace of gold petals. Sloe has spots on her dress, just like her berries. Flower fairies have very special clothes. Everyone wears an outfit which is made from the leaves and petals of their own plant or flower, and this makes it easy for them to hide among the leaves and flowers. Flower fairy boys and girls are proud of their clever disguises. Seed pods, petals, buds, and leaves become sweet bonnets, shoes, and bags, and buttons are made from dried seed. Bugle shoes are made from his bronzy leaves. Bugle's bonnet is made from a bugle blossom. Wayfaring Tree's leaves are cleverly stitched together to make her hat. Look at Wayfaring Tree's sandals. They match her handbag. If a flower fairy's dress needs patching, she will pick a petal or leaf from her plant and take it to Tansy, the fairy who mends clothes. Tansy uses a needle from the pine tree, and her thread is made from dried grass. Were ever such button-like flowers seen, yellow for elfin coats of green? 3 in a row I stitched them so. Lavender's blue, lavender's green, she'll scent the clothes, put away clean, clean from the wash, hanky and sheet, lavender's spikes make them all sweet. Lavender washes all the flower fairy's clothes. She uses soap made from her own sweet-smelling flowers. On a windy day, lavender hangs the clothes up to dry, pegged out on bushes or on washing lines strung up between tufts of grass. Oh, the little blue tit keeps winter jasmine company. Flower fairies let butterflies and bees drink nectar from their flowers. During the coldest winters, fairies huddle together with the mice in their burrows. The birds in their nest During the coldest winters, fairies huddle together with the mice in their burrows and birds in their nest to keep warm, so they are happy to share their seeds and nuts with these friendly creatures. Snapdragon is pleased to see Bumblebee collecting pollen. Red Clover greets her bee friend. Flower fairies eat nuts and berries. With honey from the bees and fruit from their trees, they make fragrant wines, sweet jams, and delicious fairy jellies. Hazelnut gathers her ripe nuts. Mallow's seeds make the finest fairy cheeses. Crabapple catches her apples to make scrumptious jelly. Just like humans, flower fairies need to be cared for when they're young. The babies crawl and clamber around their plants, falling off and getting into mischief. So the older flower fairies look after the younger ones. Apple Blossom is the most bossy and sits on her branch telling the other babies what to do. Sweet Pea is the gentlest and likes to dress the babies up in pretty clothes. Look, there's one baby, and there's a second baby. Goulder Rose shows her little sister how to look after their flowers. She looks a little bit older than a baby. Every single older flower fairy has the job of teaching the young ones how to care for their plants. But a lot of the time, flower fairy babies just play. Silver Birch and Sycamore teach the babies how to swing around their plants safely. Pansy teaches dance. Flower fairy homes are all around you, but they are cleverly hidden. A human would not recognize a flower fairy home. We would just see a few bent blades of grass or a pile of twigs and leaves. Garden flower fairies are the most sociable. A lot of them live in parks or town gardens, so of course they're used to traffic noise and human voices, and not as easily frightened. Garden fairies enjoy company. They are confident, friendly, and talkative. Wallflower loves to sit high up on the wall. Lily of the Valley rings her snowy white bells. Double Daisy greets the sun with a smile. Grape Hyacinth chats to the others. Tulip is always welcome in the garden. Delicate and pretty, wild fairies live peacefully alongside country lanes and footpaths. They play together, and sometimes you can hear them calling to each other. Their voices sound like birdsong. Tottergrass likes to dance along with the breeze. Buttercup's golden blossoms flourish all summer long. Poppy stands tall and splendid. Rushgrass and cottongrass guide travelers across the moors. An old man's beard sleeps on his bed of fluffy seeds. Look, he's just a baby, but he's called Old Man's Beard. That's silly. The windswept fields and meadows are home to the nomadic grass fairies. They have no particular home, and at night they just crawl under a leaf to sleep. Treetop fairies are the most daring and athletic of all the flower fairies. The blossom fairies have no fear of heights. They are happiest swinging from branch to branch high up in their trees. They are the fairy acrobats. Wild cherry blossom sits among her clouds of white blossoms. Pear blossom sings to the birds. Lilac blossoms have the sweetest scent of all. Willow dips her leaves in the cool water. The watery fairies play near their homes on the banks of rivers and streams. Sometimes you can hear their silvery voices, which sound a bit like running water. The youngest nut fairies are the naughtiest, playing noisy games of chase in their branches. If you're walking under a beech tree on a blustery day, it is not the wind that sends the beech nuts raining down onto your head. Naughty horse chestnut lives high in the trees. Beech nut is the naughtiest of all. Alder loves to play by the river. Look up at any tree. There's so much for the eyes to see. And if you're quick enough, maybe a laughing fairy in the tree. Iris plays at the water's edge. Flower fairies love music and dance. The king and the queen of the flower fairies love to have parties in their fairy court, and everyone joins in. Flower fairies have lots to celebrate. 4 times a year, they throw a big ball to usher in the start of spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Canterbury Bells plays a merry tune. Columbine is the star fairy ballerina. Almond Blossom dances for the court. Rosebay Willow-herb sways to the music. When the fairies hear Canterbury Bells' flowers ringing, they know a party is about to start. The flower fairies begin to gather, coming from far and wide. The singing and dancing goes on late into the night. The next day there are a lot of sleepy flower fairies dozing under their plants. Honeysuckle's trumpet sounds from way up high. Queen of the Meadow watches the dancing. Ground Ivy stays up late to peep at the party. King Cup is the king of the fairies. Ragged Robin pipes a merry tune. To shop and school, to work and play, the busy people pass all day. They hurry to and fro, and hardly notice as they go the wayside flowers known so well, whose names so few of them can tell. They never think of fairy folk, who may be hiding for a joke. Oh, if these people understood what's to be found in field and wood, what fairy secrets are made plain by any footpath, road, or lane, they'd go with open eyes and look, as you will when you've read this book. And then at least they'd learn to see how pretty common things can be. There's Candytuft watching over the others. Narcissus announces the spring. Heliotrope smells her sweet blossoms. Rose's scent lingers in the air. Geranium grows happily in the garden. Cherry's fruit is a treat for the birds. Acorn seeds grow into the noble oak tree. Ash's seeds hang like a bunch of keys. Blackberry's berries grow in shiny clusters. Holly's leaves stay green in winter. Only the Christmas tree fairy has a wand. Yew sits dreaming in its branches. Oh, and that's the end. You can go search for flower fairies in your gardens now.